Hi guys, welcome back to the Iubh Buddy Program channel. If you click on the video, we suppose that you have some question, you wonder or have assignment here at Iubh Berlin campus, and we're actually here to answer your question. Actually, we put together an assessment center for one of our human resources class, and we thought it was a perfect opportunity to show you that here at Iubh you can also bring creativity into your assignment. So we're gonna let you know what is an assessment center, how can you put it together, and give you some advice on how was our experience and what we would have maybe changed if we would have known about it. So let's get it.
So let's talk about what assessment center is all about. The assessment center basically is a recruiting tool which helps a recruiter to evaluate the candidate by giving him a real life situations and also by putting him into different tasks such as personal interviews, group discussions. Okay, so assessment center also helps a recruiter in evaluating a candidate to understand if he really fits the company culture and if the skill sets really match the candidate.
So our first step to put together our assessment center was to create a persona, which is a fictional character represented your perfect candidate. You identify which skill set, which knowledge, and in a way which personality you want your candidate to have. Based on that persona, and as a team, we put together activities which we thought would be best to identify that skill set, that knowledge, and that personality.
Okay, so a few days before our assessment center, what we did was we sent a few emails to our candidates, which included the job description. We also told the candidate to cook a rice and get it on the day of the assessment center. We also told them in short the agenda of the day.
We welcome all candidates in the room. We waited for everyone to arrive. We had a lead in our team which were responsible of doing the introduction. That person presented to the candidate the day, so what were the activities they would go through, how it would be organized. We also took some time to present ourselves, to remind them about what was the job offer. After we introduced the day to the candidates, we asked them to move to the kitchen, which were a room set up with different tables and different cooking accessories, and we moved on to the first test of the day, which was the rice test.
With rice activity, we asked the candidates to prepare the rice to see their critique. We didn't actually specify what kind of rice they should prepare to see if they were going to think out of the box. They were able to plate their rice and present it in the way that they thought it should go for them. And
after the rice test, we moved on the team building activity. All candidates were put together in the same room and they were asked to create a menu based on a list of ingredients which would have provided to them. We did not give them any information throughout the activity, and what we wanted to see was if one of the candidates would be a leader, who would be passive actors, how they would organize themselves, were they able actually to work together as a team, and if they would respect the deadline that we would have given to them. Indeed, they only had 25 minutes to come up with the menu and then 5 minutes to present it to us and answer our questions.
So after the team building activity, we had 4 sessions to evaluate the candidates. So the candidates were bifurcated into 4 sections. Basically, they went for knife test, the spice test, for the personal interview, and also for a motion sickness test, because they are going to be a head chef on a cruise. So we wanted to evaluate them on a motion sickness test as well. So for the personal interview, we asked them general questions at first, and then some questions on their past experiences and the skill sets they were having. And later on, then we evaluated them according to our assessment sheets that we already had drafted. And the interesting test was the blindfold spice test, where we had blindfolded the candidate and have given them the 6 spices in front of them, where they had to smell each spices and recognize the smell and let us know what which spices it is. Well, there was also a bit of twist into it. Also added water in one of the bowl and gave it to them to smell. So they really came up with an interesting answer, but some also guessed it right.
Then we moved on to the knife test to see how the candidates were able to match the description of the knives for the appropriate knives that should be used in cutting in the kitchen as a chef. And some candidates got it right with the description, while some didn't get it right with the description. And so the knife test was just to see how their knowledge of using different knives in the kitchen.
At the same time as the other activities, so if one candidate would be in interview, the other one is a spice test, and the other was in the knife test, then someone would be in the motion sickness test. We put together a motion sickness test to see if candidate would be potentially able to cook while on a boat, because sometimes when you're head chef in the kitchen with the wave, with the sea, you can have some movement. However, it's important to stay stable. To do that, we put the motion sickness on by asking them to turn several times on themselves for 15 seconds, and then take 2 lemons, put them into spoons, walk on a specific distance and come back. We had some success, we also had some failure, and we realized that not everyone was made to be on a boat.
So after the 4th test that I already mentioned before, we gave them a break of 20 minutes. In that time, the recruiters, that is us, we prepared another room for our next evaluation test. After their break, the final evaluation for the day was the cooking test, which was really very interesting, and we wanted to test the creativity in cooking. Actually, we had the room set with all the cutleries and the food ingredients which were already cooked. So we, for example, we had boiled eggs, few kidney beans, corns, breads, salad, pasta, etc., etc. And we also had a first aid kit in case if anyone gets hurt while cutting. Cooking test was all about to evaluate the candidate, to know their creativity in cooking and how good they are in cooking and how they can go through a stress situation and how can they handle it. So we wanted to test them on their hygiene. Do they really maintain hygiene? And we wanted to test them if they cook something out of minimal wastes. So we asked them to cook a salad with a minimum waste, which was also a team activity where they were allowed to interact with their team, and also an individual activity. Okay. Where they were into a preparation of preparing a very good salad, we gave them a first challenge which said that the customer is allergic to, and we were assessing them on the ingredients that they have already put in their bowl of salad. So for example, some of them were given that the customer is allergic to tomatoes. So what they had to do is they had to remove the tomatoes from the salads. After the first challenge, that is after next 10 minutes, we gave them the second challenge, a stressful situation where we said that the customer needs a sandwich over salad. And it was a time for a final stress situation to give to our candidates, which said that the customer needs salad immediately. So all they had to do is to keep their work aside and to prepare a salad immediately and present it to us on the next table. So at the end of this cooking test, we asked them to present their dish, both the sandwich and as well as the salad, where they presented and explained us why did they cook with all these ingredients in, and also answered our questions which were asked by the different recruiters. So it was the end of the assessment center finally, and for that we asked our candidates, after the cooking session, we asked them to go to the main room where we started the day, and we thanked them for participating with wholeheartedly and for enjoying the assessment centers. We also told them that we'll let them know their evaluation after we actually sit and evaluate each and every candidate on the task he has went through, and that will be sending them an email next week with their progress chart.
During the day, as this is as regards to our feedback, we had observers with us, and we asked them to give us feedback on our candidates' performance and also our assessment center, and we heard their feedbacks, and we've taken into consideration what they've said, and then we are going to improve on these facts that they have mentioned in their feedbacks, and also relate to our candidates when it's appropriate time for them to start.
So I liked that you took the courage to select a job profile that is not ordinary for you, and that you structured the day into something fun and exciting also for the guys that took the assessment center day. I liked especially the last part, also with the interruptions of where you gave them a bit of obstructions that they had to cope with, a bit of stress and change their ways of working.
It's interesting to see them interacting with a team, to see if they manage to work in a team. Also, I find it interesting that you organize your time, so you did first the activity, you have a break, so you use your time to prepare the thing. It was not like, okay, you're waiting and we're doing something else for someone else.
So now we are almost at the end. We are at the part where we're going to give you a feedback on our performance. If one day you organize an assessment center, we would advise you to always have main time for the recruiters, but also for the candidates. What also we realized is at some point during the activity, we did not always give the information to the candidates about why we were doing that activity and what we were testing. So it is actually important to remind the candidates what you're testing with the activity so they can mentally prepare. Well, that's it. We are actually done with our video. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget you can like the video, share it, so now everyone could know our assignments here at Iubh. We hope you like the video. We thank you for watching. If you have any further question, don't forget you can drop a comment below and we'll answer you. Bye!